Hi there, just to say this is a short snippet from this week's main episode, which was published on Wednesday as always. If you want the full episode, you can find it just below this one.
Taking the rubbish out, right? Taking the rubbish out. Now, if you're like most people, I imagine this stirs up like a negative connotation for you. Well, it does for me. So maybe I'm projecting that onto you as well. But let's think about it. What are the impressions that I have when I take the rubbish out? I think, well, the rubbish is smelly. I can't be bothered going outside to take it out. It's cold outside. When I open the bin outside, it's going to be smelly again. I'm going to see horrible things in there. And then the whole event then becomes tinged by that. And I just don't want to do it. I don't want to take out the rubbish. Now, I want to realise that there is objective facts here. You know, the smell is a certain way. The bin outside will be a certain way. But actually, it's hard to know, is it pleasant or unpleasant? Well, you could say it's unpleasant when you compare it to other things. But actually, in my opinion, a lot of that is just a projection. You know, we smell the rubbish and we say, well, okay, that's an unpleasant smell. And as soon as you conceptualize it like that, it is going to be unpleasant because you're already you're totally biased and you're filtering reality by your own psychology. And then the whole event will just be you living out your previous impressions of it or your preconceived ideas of it because you've already come in and said, well, taking out the rubbish is inherently unpleasant, an unpleasant task to do. But this, again, the rubbish, all these examples are just a small little slither of everything that I'm talking about here. Every time that things are happening to you in your life, I want you to realise that your impressions of them are just a reflection of your own psychology. It's not that that thing is inherently scary or that thing is inherently difficult or that person is inherently difficult. It just seems that way because of how you're interpreting the situation and also because of your skills and your life experience and so on. You've just not got, it's not part of your repertoire, so to speak. And that's why it seems difficult or scary. Or the opposite, of course, why it seems easy and obvious to you is because it's part of your reality. And it's not just you. This is every single person. We are all doing this. We are all filtering reality so much through our mind. We are fundamentally, our perception is not separate from our psychology, and so we are fundamentally all living in our own world. That's another episode I've done. We all live in our own world. We fundamentally are all living in our own world. You know, our worlds crisscross and we experience objective events and realities and places and people. But everything is so filtered and so subjective that it's like, are we how objective is reality? You know, how do we separate our impressions from the actual thing itself? And you might realise that it's actually really hard to know what is reality and what isn't, what actually is true and what isn't, because everything is so subjective.
Hi there, just to say this is a short snippet from this week's main episode, which was published on Wednesday as always. If you want the full episode, you can find it just below this one.